Well, considering the time of recording that we are on, PokeArt, do you remember the 21st night of September?
I do, but it's technically morning.
Anyway, hey everyone, this is McCoy, welcoming you back to another episode of the Tourist Plaza Premiere Podcast. I am joined by the very sleepy.
PokeAir 2004, and who says I'm sleepy despite it being 4 a.m.?
No, why are you such a night owl sometimes?
I just am.
Well, technically I am too, so you better deal with it, suckers. Last time we covered week 5 recap and week 6 predicts. Now it's time to recap week 6 and predict week 7. So week 6.
Yes, correct.
So week 6 was a pretty tumultuous week, let's just say. There's a lot of games that went really short and a lot of games that went really fast. As well as...
Didn't you just say the same thing, basically?
I mean, when you considered most of the games ended via forfeit, you kind of know that a lot of matchups are also decided immediately by preview. So that's another thing that happened for the majority of the week. And a lot of games have been decided already. A lot of teams are basically locked for playoffs unless week 7 does something funny. The four top teams are already been decided.
Well, the top 3 are locked. 4 is up for a little debate.
Okay, we'll go through them when we go through them. But for now, it's time. First off, we got the Absol Posters tying the Grand Order Greninjas, which has been kind of a thing. Which has kind of been a thing for Ainskrad's team because they've been tying a whole lot this week, and if they haven't tied, they lost.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Absol Posters have honestly been kind of dominant, but not to the level of Absol Posters dominance that we've seen in past TPPs, but still, it's been kind of a shape.
Hey, past Absol Posters past TPP Absol Posters is a pretty big reputation to live up to.
I guess. I mean, their standards are a bit too high now, considering the level of players that they got. But still, it's amazing to see how they've rarely done anything wrong for 4 years. So first off, we got TSAA. We got the Number Man versus Sasha. And this just goes to show you how the two compare in terms of experience. Like, Sasha's okay at OMMs, I guess, but the Number Man is very well experienced, to say the least.
Yeah, he's kind of the OMM man.
Despite Sasha bringing some pretty unique sets, I mean, Special Diancie I mean, the Toxtricity Bring was a neat idea. But in all honesty, TNM, Skuntank, and Delmice just outmatched pretty much everything against Sasha's team. Although, I will say, the crit on Skuntank with Silvally was satisfying. So, good win for TNM, again extending. Even though he hasn't really played all that much, he's still the number man, folks. Same with the next one. Stab and Mega, Ice Master versus Sage. This wasn't as even as I would like to hope. Ice Master just kind of dominated with Eternatus. We have I mean, yeah, Sage tried to play well with Arcanine, tried to call the Zygarde switch and Oko Eternatus, but it was just too damn bulky. And Eternatus just basically became the MVP with a great matchup against Sage, who really didn't have anything that could really threaten Ice's team, so it was kind of a hard matchup for him. But still, Ice Master once again proving how good he is at Stab and Mega, while Sage has been kind of on the back burner after impressing for about 5 weeks.
Oof, true.
Next up, Casual.exe versus Expulso. Game one, Game one, Weavile was kind of the early game threat, chipping away Claydol and Venusaur. We got Regice, missing a potential sweep. I mean, yes, it had weakness policy and rock polish, but it missed a focus blast and didn't really do anything.
Yeah, that was funny. Like how I think it was Mr. Mime, Galarian Mr. Mime,
I think
that
so,
had
yeah.
set up and was sweeping, but it didn't kill the Regice. But it activated its weakness policy. It just missed the kill. It lived on 4%. And well, weakness policy activated. And it just so happens Casual freaking used rock polish that turn.
That's what what all Regice do. And
then Regice missed its own focus blast and died.
Good job. Focus miss for a reason. Hitmonchan ended up cleaning the end game, starting with the crit on Alolan Sandslash and just kind of dominating the rest of the game.
I don't know if that crit mattered. That was a double weakness.
I know, but still. Game 2 saw Gastrodon getting crucially flinched at one point, and Tauros critting the Zygarde, but that's really about it for that game. The rest of the game, Casual just kind of outplayed Expulso.
That Tauros crit was also funny.
That was crucial.
It literally lived on 1.
Yeah, it was
and then proceeded to kill it.
Yeah, that was really funny and good win on Casual. Despite not having appeared this much, he got the win over Expulso, who hasn't been the luckiest.
Yeah, I predicted this one over you, Mikoi.
God damn it.
I think.
God damn it. I mean, I had a hunch feeling that Expulso might win, but I hedged my betting man instincts on that one. Next up, Camo doubles. We got Yoda versus Kipper. This one was kind of interesting. Stakataka missed twice on Incineroar with Rock Slide, which was funny. And then Mew's Iron Defense Scent looked promising. It had Iron Defense, Stored Power, Nightshade, and Roost. But the whole time, Kipper was trying to protect that Mew while having other Mons basically fill in for as the secondary Mon in the double battle. But Yoda took that as an opportunity and basically took advantage of that because it was basically that match with Ninja and someone else who
they not being a threat.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find that in a lot of games, Mikoi.
there was one in particular instance of that, and I can't remember. But basically, the same thing happened. Yoda took advantage, got Kepper to basically have its Mew be the last Mon, letting it be alone, and then basically stalling it out and killing it. So well done to Yoda for doing that strat. Next up, we got Edgar beating Tony Flygon. This one was one of the few upsets that we have, but when you actually look at the game, this was kind of funny. Shuckle's infestation plus encore tactics at the start. Yeah, that was pretty so-and-so considering the team that they had. Ultimately, after a lot of real close turns, Pachirisu became the great annoyer and MVP of this game. Just Swagger, Nuzzle, and Super Fang ultimately crippled Tony.
And yeah, it killed his last 2 Mons.
Yeah, Pachirisu was just a great annoyer in this game. Yeah, there was a couple of moments like the Drampa and the Trimeco, but it was Pachirisu that basically stole the show. And poor Tony didn't really have anything.
It was literally the reason Edgar won.
Next up, Natdex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got W Sun1 versus Star Master. Not really much else to say about this game, although I will say, haha, I won finally over you. You said W Sun would win, I said Star Master would win, ha. We had Special Groudon finding use. That was cool. And then Gulp Missile activating on the 2 dragons. That was neat. Nothing really much to say happens. Star Master basically dominated W Sun. Speaking of...
I really thought W's son would have had that, because, well, he was actually doing quite well, but, oh well, he couldn't deal with the water Arceus. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that was a particular mon in that.
Also, that para, if W's son 1 had clicked Earthquake that turn, then that para was incredibly unfortunate.
Unfortunate that happened, but you know he looked strong in defeat, I will say. Next up, Monotype Cat. This was let's just say a slaughter, Violet versus Meta. But
yeah,
but not on Meta's side. Violet actually kind of dominated this game. First off, we got Celesteela walling the Pajantum at the start. That was.
If I were to describe this game, it'd be Meta's team could not deal enough damage and just got killed every time.
Well, we got the Thunderous crit killing the Mimikyu at one point. I didn't expect that to kill.
It's like Violet's team had more bulk and took all the hits, and Meta's team did not have bulk and did not take the hits.
Well, Meta was kind of playing the more offensive game of the two, while Violet had the bulky side of the two. Especially when you consider that risky Dragon Dance play. That was severely punished by Dragonite just going for Outrage.
Yeah.
I guess he was trying to go for... I guess he was expecting another D-Dance from Dragonite, but what's the point? But yeah, Violet took the win there. Very, very impressive win. Again, when Violet plays, he can pull off these underappreciated wins, and it's very good. Again,
I feel like that's more Tectonic Destroyer's job.
Well, did Tech ever beat one of the best Monotype Cap players that we've had?
Maybe he will.
Well, I'll see about that. But first off, we got the Mystery OU tier. We got Lax versus TPP. First game was Gen 8. Incinerate Garchomp versus Bugbite Buzzwole. That was one of the first few turns that happened. There was a unique Camo set that happened in this game, like the Belly Drum, Endure, Reversal, and Scale Shot. That
was kind of OP.
That was a cool set, but it never really got going. And then both brought the real highlight of this game is both bringing Cosmic Power, Meteor Beam, Pinkmons. And oh boy, Mew's set was really demonic. We got Cosmic Power, Meteor Beam, Frost Breath, and Life Dew, which, first off, the Frost Breath crit killed all of Clefable's team. Well, crit killed the Clefable, and then it basically proceeded to sweep the rest of the game.
Yep.
Gen 6, although the rest of the games that happened, and you may think Lax may have these after that Gen 8 game, but Gen 6 and 7 were particularly hacksy. TPP got real lucky in this one. First off, in Gen 6, where the Manaphy crit killed the Sableye after it set up Calm Mind.
Did that matter?
I don't think it will, but even at +4 Tail Go, I still think it would still live a hit, but no, unfortunately.
Well, let me look.
Lopunny critted the Garchomp as well, but again, that's inconsequential due to TPP just getting lucky in that game. And then Gen 7 was also particularly lucky. Camo freezed the Mega Lopunny at one point and used a particularly unique set to do a lot of damage. Let's see the... Oh yeah, we got the Ice Punch Dragon Dance Ground DMZ Camo in Gen 7, which Azumarill got paralyzed at a very crucial turn 26, and fortunately enough, Camo took the win at that point, and TPP got the lucky win. So good job, TPP, on this one. Well, it was mostly luck, but still, that brings the tie. But the rest of the games, they were let's just say close, but not. First off, we got the Articunos beating the Golbats. So this was the deciding. This was pretty much the deciding matchup because either one of these two will be for playoffs, and now the Articunos have the advantage in terms of will they be able to keep their place for week 7? Who knows? The Golbats could easily run this series, but we'll get to week 7 when we get to it. But first off, week 6, Articunos beating the Golbats, and people we think that Articunos were the weakest team going in. No.
Nah.
First off, TSAA, we got Klastia versus Poshik Moshik. This was an interesting one. Plaku losing his Metagross early from A, missing a Meteor Mash, and B, Silvally Dragon doing a lot more than I expected with Flamethrower to beat Metagross. The real crucial point of this game, though, was the double Silvally Dragon turn, where Poshik's Silvally Dragon missed the Draco Meteor, while Klastia's hit, causing it to die. And then that caused Poshik Moshik to kind of lose momentum after that, because the rest of the game was Poshik trying to do something against Klastia's natural bulky team, but just couldn't do it. It was way too strong to handle, and thus Klastia took the W after that.
Yep.
Next up, Derpy Boy versus Agrometelli. This was a short and sweet game. Derpy's Entei was pretty much MVP for killing half of Agrometelli's Mons. Yeah, Spectrier was saved for late game, but Zern happened. So again, for a player that we haven't seen much of in TPP, Derpy Boy picked up the win over one of the best OMM players. So good job.
You consider Agrometelli
one of the more underrated
best OMM players?
Well, one of the more underrated.
Yeah, I don't know about best OMM players. He's just good at Stab and Mega, but I don't know about anything else there.
Multi-gen Rans, we got Crunchman versus Losco no Shoto. Game 1, Toxapex was the MVP of this game, because holy crap, it did a lot. First off, living a hit from the Necrozma's boosts to haze it, poisoning Silvally to live its Psychic Fangs and haze the Swords Dance away, dodging the Tornado's Hurricanes quite a bit, and then completely walling Solgaleo at the end. So Los Conos Toxapex really took the boy from that one.
Damn.
And then game 2, the original replay was saved. I think Los Conos posted the wrong replay, so I had to ask Crunchman to confirm the loss. He did, so we couldn't really cover that game.
Oh.
So Los Conos took the win. Next up, Camo Doubles, Shadow versus Martin v Tran, and Shadow Monster has finally completed the Expulso route of finally getting a win after losing for so long.
Hooray, Shadow!
And this one, this was a very strong first turn, but it was already pretty much decided by the first turn, because Shadow got rid of the Zygarde immediately. Immediately taking out one of his most common threats. I mean, the Whimsicott OHKOing the Blacephalon, that was kind of a surprise, I guess. And it's not even...
How so?
I don't know. Is that Whimsy Specs? I want to confirm that Whimsy Specs.
Blacephalon is really frail, so I don't know about that.
Well, let's see. In the end, though, Shadow just showed how completely dominant he can be while playing in the doubles games, and just outplayed Martin by the end. So yeah, a really good showing by Shadow. Hopefully it continues this momentum going forward if the Articunos manage to lock themselves in the playoffs.
By the way, Nikwe, it was Stab Shadow Ball, and it was super effective. Maybe the Whimsicott had some special attack investment.
Or it's not Specs. It's not Specs.
It's not.
Oh.
It was Sash.
Oh, it was Sash. Okay, I was remembering the game. Okay, so yeah. Special attack investment, alright. That makes sense. National deck, same 6. TDK versus Lero. This was a game completely defined by one move. Iron Defense. This game, Lero's Corviknight completely walled TDK's own and Nihilego too, which was basically setting up Iron Defense Body Press. Until Phalanx scared it away with Focus Energy, which never really got to activate all that much. I mean the crit. Yeah. I mean the crit chance. Another useful mon in this meta was Melmetal's Acid Armor Body Press set. It got a lucky turn by paralyzing the Corviknight at a very crucial turn to kill it. And then in the end, we got Iron Defense, Quiver Dance, Hurricane, Vivian, which basically took the win.
Yeah, that was interesting. Oh, don't forget it had Roost.
It did have Roost, but it killed the Melmetal with Quiver Dance, Hurricane, and basically lived the hit thanks to Iron Defense.
Yep, and it did that all the way up to +6.
Well done, TDK, for that one. Next up, Natdex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got Bacon versus FC. This was the last game that was played. They played like 9 minutes before the deadline, but FC did have...
I think they played even sooner.
Yeah, but FC did have the National Dex Premier League match that he had with Crying. So that was all well and good considered. Although this game was really messy. This FC versus Bacon match was really messy. First off, Groudon missing a Precipice Blades on the Arc Dark. That was kind of a bad omen for things to come. Bacon had the lead for the majority of the game. It was 4-3 until Groudon versus Marshadow, where Groudon missed a couple of Dragon Tails that really could have prevented it from, Marshadow was setting up Bulk Up, right? And Groudon wanted to get rid of it by using Dragon Tail. It missed twice, and Marshadow got to Bulk Up twice. And Marshadow ended up getting close combated. And then Groudon finally got the Dragon Tail off, but it was too little too late by that point. Yeah, our FC's Arceus may have swept in the end, but yeah, this was a really messy game for all things considered. I don't think both.
Hold on, did you say the Marshadow got close combated?
Oops, I mean the Marshadow got off the close combat on the Groudon. It still lived. Groudon still lived at 3, and still got off the Dragon Tail, but still.
Jeez, Groudon.
But yeah, I don't think either player is particularly proud of this game, so unfortunately, FC took the win. Good. Next up is Roxy versus Trichotomy in Monotype Cap. This was an almost mirror match. They literally brought 5 of the 6 of the same Mons. And then they brought
5 of the same Mons? But one brought a Kitsuno?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And the other brought an Aegislash.
Yeah, they still brought a Steel Ghost type, so you could call this literally a mirror match.
Almost. Kitsuno and Aegislash work very differently from what I can see.
I know. But this game was actually quite good. It may very well be the best Monotype Cap match that we've seen, and it's a mirror match. Trichotomy just had a better outprediction play than Roxy, thanks to Equilibra, and how versatile as a switch-in Equilibra can be, thanks to Levitate and its type. Um, Heatran walling both Ferrothorn and Celesteela with Taunt and Magma Storm at the end clenched Trichotomy the game. It was a good, but it was a good game either way. Roxy still looks strong in defeat, so
Yeah, the game went a while without making any real progress. Progress was very slow in that game until I saw Trichotomy reveal Taunt on Heatran. That's when I knew why he won.
yeah, and he won by that point. So yeah, good. I highly recommend checking out this game if you want a slow but really good monotype cat match.
It's as exciting as he says.
Gen 6.
Boring.
Yeah. I mean, there's a thing. That's been the thing for most TPP games, but I actually quite like this one. Mystery OU. We got Astralidia versus Splorsh. Gen 6. Lopunny crit the superior at the beginning. We got Latios actually being the screener and Healing Wish to heal the Mega Charizard XX. Aegislash being physical and Rotom burning it was good on Splorsh's part. I mean, Autotomized Swords Dance is a good set, but when you got Rotom still out there in the field and got off the Will-O-Wisp, things have gone sour for you. Gen 7, nothing really much else game that happened. I mean, yes, we got the Hidden Power Ice play on the Gliscor. And then Tapu Bulu having trouble against the Mega Latias. I swear, if Tapu Bulu had a physical fairy move, play rough, it would have been much better suited in OU. And then Magearna just kind of won the game by that point. So yeah, Splorsh finally took the win over Astralidia in a good showing.
Good for him.
Next.
So that's not what I predicted.
Well, we both predicted Astralidia, so we both took an L. Yay! Bullet to Drive Bayonet defeating the Bouncing Bounsweets. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
This, and then first off, the TSA game, I believe this is part 5 of their series between Euphanos and Mossy Sandwich. Well, in terms it was in terms of like OMM Tours related events. These two have fought each other a lot. And this one is just another chapter in their rivalry. First off, Jolteon being the screens was a pretty good set, I'd say. And around the middle of the game, we saw Unaware Gothitelle completely walling Belly Drum Poliwrath.
Yep.
Good set. But the real MVP of that game, and despite Tyrantrum sweeping with Magic Guard Head Smash, we kind of know already what Tyrantrum does. But the real MVP of this game was that damn Skuntank, as its set really proved to be a great matchup against all of Euphanos' team. I mean, come on. Regenerator, Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, Sludge Bomb? Come on. That's a really broken set.
Yeah, we didn't have much for that. Also, what didn't help is that it kept flinching at crucial moments. It kept flinching the poor Dragalge.
Yeah, that was also pretty unfortunate, but other than that, the rest of the game was pretty decided on that Skuntank. So, yeah, a very well done for Mossy and Euphanos' what's his record right now? I'm curious.
I think he's neutral at 2-2.
Okay. I thought he's negative.
I would need to check. No, he's not negative. He's won at least twice, and I think that was his second loss.
Okay, if he went negative, I get to laugh in his face. Ha ha! Alright.
Hey, hold on. I can check. He's 2-2.
Okay, good. Axel versus Wilmar in Stab and Mega. Man, again, this is another match I predicted wrong. I mean, come on. When you got Groudon matching up well against all of Wilmar's team, that Groudon basically can 6-0. Unfortunately, it was sent out in the beginning and never really got to do anything. because he got killed rather quickly. Yes, we got 2 E-speeders killing the Gyarados. That was great to see, and then Spectre cleaning the end game. So not really much happened. It was just Axel using Spectre and winning. Also, Groudon matching up well. On team.
Also, I'm pretty sure Axel brought 2 ground types into a Regieleki team.
Yeah. Again.
So,
it was basically decided on preview.
Yeah, Axel had a pretty good matchup, I think.
Very good
I'm not
matchup.
a Stabby Mega expert, but I think that was a good matchup.
You don't have to be a Stabby Mega a player to realize that was a exceptionally good matchup.
Also, was this the game he brought the nice Lando set?
I can check. Well, he did bring Lando, and I almost forgot Walmart brought Shedinja.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, kind of a weird team in hindsight.
Also, Rhyperior.
No, Rhyperior is good.
Okay, but I just don't normally see that.
I mean, Heracronite Rhyperior is actually pretty broken if you're feeling ballsy.
Slowburnite, Substitute, Calm Mind, Oblivion Wing, Shore Up Lando. That was the set.
Yeah, that was the set. That was really funny to see.
And it wasn't easily broken either.
Yep. I mean, when you're bringing.
Oh Jesus! A Rock Blast from Rhyperior. A singular Rock Blast from Rhyperior being Technician with Heracronite.
Yeah, I told you. It's really good.
Barely anything. He did barely anything to Landorus.
I guess he ran that Lando defense invested. Or it just wasn't really that attacky.
It's because of the Slowburnite meat-boy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was really defensive that way. So well done, Axel, for that incredibly bulky team. Next up, the Rans game. Michael Derbest versus Crying. Will I ever get to predict a Michael Derbest game? Seriously, I bet.
How about you ask him, and he'll probably say no.
I mean, currently this guy is 12-0 by the time in week 6, and then they play Laguna in week 7 and 14-0. But still, Michael Derbest beat Crying very dominantly. Game 1, Zatu soloed Duraludon with crit Heat Wave. Despite the scare with Thunderbolt, he still kind of soloed it with Zatu.
Yeah,
and then
he does that.
And then the Outreach and killed her. Not really much happened. Michael just kind of dominated. And same with Game 2 with Mega Kangaskhan and Meloetta mostly carrying that game.
Oh yeah, especially Meloetta.
Camo doubles. I mean, this was just the loveliest murder. Z versus Frixel. First off, the early Zygarde and Whimsicott Mirror War shenanigans. That was cool. Oh, and you mentioned that Z brought the same team as they did last week.
I think it was. Yeah, something similar anyway.
Well, they changed MVPs. The MVP of this game was Necrozma, as its Psychic Ground typing, along with its Meteor Beam set, provided a pretty great matchup against Frixels, who was all weak to it.
Yep.
So, again, well done, Z, on that one. Next up, alright, talk about your game with Siphicon in Same 6.
Okay. Okay, so, where do I start?
How about the fact that you had a Durant with Hidden Power Fire?
Okay, I admit that was not my idea.
And following up...
I probably would not have done that normally, because, well, Durant, it has no special attack.
Its special attack is garbage, but somehow it did a lot for the other Durant. Following up with a Groundium...
A decent amount.
Yeah. Following up was a Groundium Z play on the Typhlosion. Again, another move that caught us by surprise.
Did it? I don't think it did, but I don't think it caught Sci-Fi by surprise because he literally had the same thing.
Wow. All right.
I don't get why it would be a surprise. It's good here.
Against
you
everything.
have hustle Durant, and Z moves don't miss. Like hell, why wouldn't you want a super powerful ground move from a hustle Durant that doesn't miss and like also Durant being like hard hitting and speedy, like, and with half the team being weak to ground with no actual ground resist. Why would you not run this? It's literally a free kill half the time.
Well, assuming that all same six players would also build the same thing, but still, all right. I haven't noted here that you saving up your lantern was the crucial play because it allowed Typhlosion to basically live the bear tick and basically chip it. And you mentioned
enough, I guess.
And you mentioned that the ending was kind of a 50-50 play. And although I wasn't sure why Siphicon would basically aquajet the lantern when you mentioned that thing when Siffy mentioned that thing was max speed Beartic, right?
That was actually my assumption. I mean, why wouldn't it be?
If that was the case and yours was bulky lantern, why wouldn't Siffy go instead for superpower? And why the aquajet? I don't get it.
What do you mean, why aquajet? You're talking like he aquajetted my lantern.
You did, right? Let me check. Oh yeah, and you yeah, and you brought freaking Endure Custep Bear Tick. I almost forgot about that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, that's right. It aquajetted the Typhlosion. And yours was faster than Beartick, so it really didn't matter. Alright.
Yes, I was running a bulky lantern, although just bulky enough so that I basically invested everything else in speed.
Yeah, and so you invested in speed.
196 speed, so my lantern was 219 speed, which is just 1 point faster than a max speed Jolly Bear Tick.
So it really couldn't matter either way. Lantern would have still killed Bear Tick either way and outsped it.
Yep, at that range,
Alright.
Bear Tick was screwed. Especially because, well, it wasn't boosted at all. Even if it aquajet me, it wouldn't have killed.
Alright.
He thought he'd be faster, so he didn't aquajet. He was probably gonna superpower.
Okay.
Or wait, no, Rock Slide, maybe? I don't know what he ran.
Superpower probably. But still, okay.
Gotta say, I didn't expect Oka Berry, though.
Oka Berry? Oh man, Oka Berry is good on Bear Tick.
Yeah, I guess so.
Provided a lift.
I guess with the set it has, it's made for killing fire types, so I guess it makes sense to run the Oka Berry, but I just went for the Endurica step.
True. But good win. And would you say that you like Theme 6 after playing it and winning?
Oh, I've always kind of liked Theme 6.
Would you play it again?
I like watching... I've always liked watching people build for it, see what they come up with. It's a cheer for creativity.
It's my favorite for a reason, and that's the reason exactly.
I intentionally sped crept my lantern to outspeed Beartex.
Alright.
I'm like, just in case. This might come in handy.
And it did come in handy.
Can't guarantee it, but just in case, because like this, it resists aquajet, so this is a good idea. And well done, Pokerat, on that one. Next up, National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms, Shiloh versus Lottie. You mentioned this last week. Shiloh just provided a good team and Shiloh won.
Lol.
Actually, now that the game actually happened, I can reveal exactly what Shiloh said. He said, "Just pass me some HO and I'll win."
Okay. So this
That's exactly what he did.
And yeah, I mean, granted, Shiloh did have some early game bad luck. Let's not forget about that. He had some pretty unfortunate turns in the first few turns. It basically counteracted by giving Yveltal a Stone Edge Joko to the face and killed it.
Yeah.
And then the ending, we got the Rayquaza doing the D-Dance Life Orb thing, swept the Lottie thing, and then got the winning thing.
Yeah, literally dominated by the D-Dance Rayquaza.
Next up, we got Spoo versus Spitfire.
Oh, wait, might be worth a mention. That game was the first time we actually won in NetDex Ubers.
Yay! Dang it, Kate, dang it, Euphoros, you never got the win. Only Shiloh can. Just bring your same-sex player to play Ubers. That's the winning strat. Monotype Caps, Spoo versus Spitfire. This one was the slowest game because this game was particularly slow. Although the ending was kind of iffy, was kind of sus, because Spoo let the Weavile set up the swords dance. He try. Okay, yeah, he might have tried to crit or flinch the using the Galar Moltres against the Weavile, but the fact that he still let him set up the swords dance and then Ice Shard everything else, kind of sus. Although he didn't really have, I mean, he didn't really have much anything to bring against all of the team, against everything that Spitfire had. So yeah, it was kind of sus that way. But yeah, again, very sus play by Spoo, but still a very dominant win either way by Spitfire. Yeah. And then Mystery OU, we got Rob Jr. versus Easy. Gen 8, how does it feel to get matched up against Sun? Because Rob actually used a pretty good Sun team. Solar Blade Kartana and Belly Drum Darmanitan are especially standouts. Yeah. Gen 7 game didn't really much get going until Superior revealed Taunt, which basically stopped Rob Jr.'s stall team from ever getting off the right foot. And so Easy took the win there. And then pretty easy. But then Game 6 was a fairly hyper-offensive game that ended with... Game 6? No, Gen 6. Game 6. This game has been going on for 6 games. No. Gen 6, a fairly hyper-offensive game that ended with Superior missing a Leaf Storm, which allowed Mega Scizor to set up and Bullet Punch through Reflect, mind you, and then killed the rest of Easy's team. So a good win. Yeah, I think that really cost us. Also, it's worth noting that I think we won the Gen 8 game too if Meteor Beam hit. Oh yeah, that was also a pretty crucial turn, but had the Meteor Beam hit, Easy would have likely won. But yeah. However, the only real loss about this is Easy's undefeated record. Oh. We won anyway. Thank God. Oh. Good job. Good win still. Alright. Finally, we got the Ruinheim Runerigus beating the reigning champions, the Fulman Frostmonts. First game. Stop calling them the reigning champions at some point. They've sucked all season. Oof. TSAA, Long Heap versus Rice Man. The meme match of the... That was amazing. That was the meme match of the whole tour. first off, the final gambit turned 1, where Riceman Victini hit the final gambit and killed Longhape's Regirock. And then Riceman just kind of exploded. Literally. He used explosion
multiple times.
A very explosive game, as Longhape pointed out. Big surprises were the Silvally Fairy Okoing the Dialga and Licky Licky Okoing the Lucario. I mean, I get 1 stab and 2 Lucario's Frail, but still, managing to Oko both steel types is interesting. And then Riceman looked to have the win until the Alcremie bringing Encore stopped Aromatisse from setting up. So that gave
Don't forget the sticky barb, wherever it got that from.
Yeah, the sticky barb play was also pretty neat. But yeah, that basically gave Longhape the game. Sorry, Riceman. I wish you had brought that.
Okay, but before you call it the meme match of the tour, even more memey than Easy versus Leo.
That's definitely gonna be an interesting poll when we get to the awards.
And even more memey than potentially Spoo versus Manette.
Oh no! Oh no! No, is that a meme? Oh no! Why do you? We'll talk about that game when we talk about it. First off,
yeah, Spoo's proposing something. He's proposing doing something a little different there.
elaborate when we get to it. But first off, Stab and Mega, Fabulu versus Elgino. Nothing really much happened in this game other than the fact that Entei was allowed to set up 2 howls and basically sweep. Even living off the leech seed, which was neat. So a good win by Joey there. Next is the Rans game.
Wow, that's like all you talked about for Joey?
I mean, it was kind of, well, a lot of people predicted Joey to win over Elgino, so this was the predictable outcome. This was the safe outcome.
You didn't predict Elgino to win, did you?
I may have, but I'll have to recheck. But I'm, it's not like I'm not taking the L or anything, I swear. Multi-gen Rans, London versus Fragments. Game 1, Araquanid living long enough to do Sticky Web was kind of fun. Burns were being passed around quite a bit. And then the ending saw D-Max Gastrodon absolutely walling Xerneas. And Blaziken winning by the end.
Yep.
Game 2, Fragments was doing well in the first part because Gothitelle was there and it toxic everything. Until Xerneas came in and swept. And then game 3, Fragments got a taste of his own medicine because London had Blaziken Mega and won with the sweep.
Well.
So you mentioned, Fragments, that you didn't want to be roasted too hard. Nah, I am not really. You got your wish, buddy.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. What do you mean? Nothing happened. Alright. Next up, Camo Doubles. Mimoric versus Rolski. This ended up being kind of my favorite Camo Doubles game up to this point because both players looked very even going into it. This was a great game with a lot of good trick room usage and just basically great out predictions from both players. It was really even. Yes, Stack Attacker may have dominated the end, but again, that's inconsequential. Again, I highly recommend checking this game out because honestly, this was a very good game.
Oh, okay.
Next up, Arsenine versus GXC. This dead game, even though it was really kind of hype. Although I see that Shedinja, and I wonder what sets they may have brought if this game goes ahead. Next up, Based What versus Skooma and Natdex Ubers. Based What brought a really odd Salamence set. It was
That was weird, bro.
Facade, Iron Defense, Dragon Dance, Roost? I mean, granted, yes, it may potentially work to its favor because of Air Late and the fact that it could pretty much do anything with Dragon Dance, but Burn? And against the Zygarde? That was the best time to use it? Really?
Well, I guess Facade.
But it didn't really matter because Zygarde ended up critting the poor thing.
Yeah, that was awful.
Cramorant paraflinching the Necrozma at inconsequential points. And then the ending saw Arc Electric miss the Thunder and Lucario's E-Speed, giving Skooma the win. But yeah, never build that Salamence again. Let's just say that it was weird. I mean, as a pioneer of,
Indeed weird.
as an advocate, as a connoisseur of all things weird sets wise, that one really didn't work to its favor. So yeah, let's just say that.
You're a connoisseur of weird sets?
I like weird sets, okay? I like seeing weird sets in
Does that
normal
make you a connoisseur?
Maybe. Wording!
What else are you what else are you a connoisseur in, huh?
I don't know.
Box lunch?
Maybe. Alright. Monotype Cap. Tier versus RSV before Pokeyard kills me.
And here you go, continuing with your evaluation time.
Nothing really much happened in this game, honestly. Toxic playing a lot of RSV's Mons, and then Moltres Galar sweeping RSB. That's literally my notes for this game. Because nothing really much happened.
Excellent evaluation time, connoisseur Mikoi.
Oh, man. And to wrap up my inner silent, we got Ewin versus Reginald in Mystery OU. Gen 6 Gen 6 was a sad game. Ewin practically dominated this game. Aside from having a pair around the Metagross and then Lando missing a Stone Edge, that was it. Ewin dominated that.
Sad.
And then Gen 8, we saw the Slow King carrying Zap Cannon, actually, and killing the Slowbro. That was a good set.
Okay, then.
Heat Transit, I mean, yes, it had Tri-Attack and Solar Beam. That is what is revealed. Didn't really get to do anything special aside from exploding at one point. I mean, yes, it had an explosion. And then towards the end, we got to see Stockpile Gastrodon, which ended up being pretty dang hard to kill.
I bet it's a Gastrodon, and now it's stockpiling.
Yeah, Stockpile Gastrodon is particularly dangerous. So, yeah, good win by Ewin. And the poor Raji.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of Week 6. Taking a look at the spreadsheets. This may be the last time we get to see the spreadsheets, honestly. I don't know. But, taking a look at it here, we got rank 1. We got the Ruinheim Runerigus taking the top spot with 10 points. Very impressive. Number 2 being the Absol Posters and the Belletta Drive Bayonets shortly following. So basically these top 3 teams are locked. And then we all kind of debated in the chat here. The Articunos and the Golbats are pretty much the only 2 teams running for 4th place. Because, okay, what was the calc here? If Golbats get a big win over their series opponent for this week, and the Articunos lose badly, I think Golbats make it in, right?
I think so. That seems logical.
But right now, the Articunos are at the most advantageous position because they could either tie or win, and they would still make playoffs.
So they could lose and they could still make playoffs if the Golbats don't win.
Yeah, and granted,
And the Golbats are facing the current #1 team.
Oh, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. And the Articunos are facing the Bound Sweets, I believe.
Yes, a team that is less tough.
Oh well. So again, the Articunos looking like the team that's going into playoffs until something wacky happens in week 7. So let's get to week 7, shall we? All right, predicts time. We got the first off is the one of the two matchups that really doesn't matter by the end. The Absol Posters versus the Bullet to Drive Bayonets. I believe if the Absol Posters does not win, then you could be facing them again in playoffs. I don't know. Who knows?
Close? Oh no, you're right. Actually, wait. It's first faces fourth and second faces third.
Yes.
Which means actually, if they win, I think it would take the Runarigas' losing for them to not be second, which means oh no, I think we are almost destined to face them first for playoffs. This is bad.
So, so better bring your strong suits for now. Well, kind of. Well, kind of, actually, from your matchups. It's looking like you brought already your best, strongest suits. I don't know. We'll see about that. No.
We're memeing.
Okay, if this was a complete meme, then I rescind this comment. First off, TSAA, the number man versus Oakley's. Man. I'm happy that
Oakley's. An insult. That silence is an insult.
Oakley's could have a ghost of a chance beating the number man, right?
So you're saying he doesn't have a chance?
Yeah, he doesn't. Number man wins. Unless
Oakley's, you can do it. I believe in you.
Stab and Mega.
Try your best.
Stab and Mega. We got Ice Master versus Axel. This one actually could end up being pretty close. Both players have had a really good season so far. I think they're the number 1 and number 2 in Stab and Mega this season.
Currently, I think so.
So this one's ought to be close. I'm still gonna go Ice Master, but only slightly. Maybe Axel. I mean, I won't be surprised if Axel wins.
You can do it, Axel.
Bring 12 pick 6
better shot than Oakley's does.
Multi-gen Rants. Irpachusa versus Michael Derbest. Again, Michael Derbest just doesn't want to get predicted against. I still would have predicted Michael either way, though.
You see, he hasn't let go of that instant Mikoi.
God damn it, really?
No, I'm kidding.
Michael, 14-0 currently. Seriously. He's never lost a game. Okay. Camo Dub.
He maintained this for the entire normal season.
My God, if he does that for playoffs too, I swear. Camo doubles.
Well.
I knew it. Camo doubles. Yoda versus Euphanos. Why is Euphanos playing doubles?
Because he wanted to.
He can never let go of that camo, can he? Although Yoda, come on, he's the best player in this pool. There's no way I wouldn't predict Yoda to win on this one, huh?
Yeah, but the thing is, he's facing Euphanos.
If Euphanos somehow wins, I will eat
Euphanos is going to bring something normal?
No, probably not. He'll bring something incredibly memey and he'll still lose.
Well, I'm looking at what Euphanos is cooking up.
Uh-oh.
By God, what is this?
Uh-oh. Can't wait to live react to that one. I don't know.
Oh, boy. There's at least 3 Mons here that aren't normally seen.
Uh-oh. National Dex same 6. We got Tony Flygon versus Shiloh. This ought to be fun. I'm looking forward to this one. Both players are incredibly good in Same Six.
I can confirm Shiloh is not trying a ton this week, though.
Uh-oh. So Tony Flygon wins. GG.
Because I'm looking at what Shiloh's cooking up. It's interesting.
Oh boy.
It's probably a little unexpected.
A little memey. National Dex.
Oh yeah.
National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got W Sun 1 versus Tectonic Destroyer. This already happened. And W Sun 1 dominated. I haven't actually seen the replay yet.
Yeah, he kind of dominated.
Okay, W Sun 1 wins. Monotype Cap.
Yeah, you see, what happened in that game was that Tech did not think.
He merely clicked.
Not for a single turn. He did not think for a single turn.
He only clicked, not thinked.
No thoughts, head empty.
Okay. Monotype Cap, Dugza versus Parashong. Parashong hasn't been doing quite the He hasn't been the most impressive in this year's TPP. He's 0-3, right?
Yeah, he only played the first 3 weeks, though.
And we haven't seen much of Dugza, but when he plays, he can do real well, so...
Yeah, I am a little worried here, although this week doesn't matter a ton. We're just getting Parashong in to determine, who do we want to use for our mono cap?
Parashong. Dugza wins. Dugza is my prediction. Mystery OU, Manat versus Spoo. What are you cooking up this? What's food cooking up this week?
Oh, it's not the team he's cooking up. It's more a proposition of the kind of game he will play.
Uh-oh. We'll look forward to that one. So we haven't seen Manat play at all, but judging from the badges and the reaction score and the fact that he's 10 years in the Smogon, yeah, he's experienced, so I'll go with him, but only slightly.
Yeah, that is the smart choice in a normal game. However, you might find if what Spoo's asking to do is what they will do, you may find that skill won't matter.
Okay. Alright. So next up, we have the Gotham Golbats versus the Ruinine Runerigus. This ought to be quite the matchup. This actually looks to be... Well... The Golbats are really going to have to pull off their asses for some points, because the Runerigus brought some really... I don't want to say mean choices, but they brought some heat.
Allow me to say this does look doable.
This does look doable, and I can't wait to see if the Golbats actually win here. First off, the TSAA game, we got the Dragon Master versus Based-What. Now, we haven't really seen Based-What in OMM, so this is just one of the first few times we actually got to see him delve into this kind of meta. Meanwhile, Advita has gotten so much experience from playing Plaza Tours and TSAA to know a little bit of the tier, and also he beat Mossy at one point. So I think the safe choice here is Advita.
I agree. So that's one to the Golbats, supposedly.
Stab and Mega. We got Derpy Boy versus Dr. PhD BJ. Dr. PhD BJ has done pretty well this tour. Derpy Boy, I mean, we got the win last week, but we really haven't, despite not having to see him a lot, Derpy Boy's got what it takes to win. Although Dr. PhD BJ is a really hard opponent to beat, so I'm gonna lean towards Dr. PhD for winning this one.
I will too.
Bring 12 multi-gen rants. We got Career Ended versus London 13. Both players haven't played a whole lot in TPP, although I will say Career Ended surprisingly impressed me a lot more than London, so let's go with Career Ended on this one.
I'm also going with Career Ended Haybats too.
Camo doubles, Clastia versus Zern. Clastia's done surprisingly well this tour. He's pulled off some pretty big wins over the past few weeks.
How many times has he played?
About 3 or 4. And he's picked up like 2 wins.
In Camo doubles?
No.
Specifically?
No, he played TSAA last week. So.
Well, you see, McCoy, he has 1 win in Camo doubles, 1 loss in Camo doubles, and 1 win in TSAA. So I'm not sure where you're getting that he's doing surprisingly well.
2-1 is not a bad record, PokeArt.
We're talking about Camo doubles.
I mean, he's 1-1 in Camo doubles, and he's facing off against Zern, who is a good doubles player in general. I mean, I have faith that Claudia might pull off the upset win, but I'm gonna go with the safe pick here and pick Zern.
I'm also going Zern.
Next up, we got the National Dex Same 6. We got TDK versus Poek. Looking at the Mons, it's fire water season, baby.
Oh boy.
But TDK has been more impressive in Same 6 than Poek has, so yeah, this is TDK's game, I believe.
Why is it literally half fire, half water?
Because...
How did this happen?
Because memes. I like this. Watch them not bring... watch them not bring fire water.
We're definitely gonna see some solar beams. Or some HP grasses.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, Typhlosion.
On both sides.
I'm looking at you, Typhlosion. But still, yeah. National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got Bacon Eating Assassin versus Reggie. Book ended perfectly because Reggie, I think, played week 1 and then right now is playing week 7, while Bacon has played for the majority of TPP as the NatDex Ubers guy. This looks to be pretty close, I'd say, but I think Reggie has got this more. Bacon hasn't had...
I'm going with Bacon.
Really? Okay. I think Reggie has, despite only playing once, I think, but Bacon has gotten a lot of experience but hasn't had really the best record. So I think I'm gonna go with Reggie on this one. So that's 4.
What was the one time Reggie played?
It was week 1.
He lost versus Lodi.
Oh, well, he's still a good Ubers player, Reggie is. So we're going Reggie on this one.
Yeah, I'm going Bacon based on the fact he lost versus Lodi, who has also been doing kind of poorly.
Monotype Cap, Avidus versus Crucify. We have first time Avidus is playing in Monotype. While Crucify, we've seen Avidus versus Crucify. Finally getting to see Avidus play in a TPP. Crucify, we also really haven't seen that much. So, but Crucify's mono game is stronger than Avidus's, so I think I'm going to go with Crucify on this one. And Mystery OU, we got EU versus Raichi. Haven't really been impressed with Raichi, even though he played Rands, was it? But EU's OU game is pretty strong, I will say. Very good player here, so I think I'm going to go with EU on this one. So, next up is the Grand Order Greninjas versus the Full Moon Frostmods. This one's just for gravy. First off, TSAA, we got Sasha versus Don Vasquez. In a serious matchup, I'd say Don Vasquez wins. I think Don is the stronger. Plus, Sasha hasn't really done all that well in multiple tiers, actually. But TBB seems to be kind of a hard road for Sasha. Next up is Stab Mega, Sage versus Elgino. Very good matchup, this one. I'm legit impressed by both players at this point. I'm going to say Sage on this one. I think, despite the alright performances so far, kind of on the back burner in terms of recent weeks,
I think Sage is still the better player between him and Elgino. Bring 12 Pick 6 multi-gen Rand. Saba versus RSB. Good to see the TPC champion finally getting his due. The Tours Plaza Classic 3 champion, if you remember. Saba against RSB, who tends to do well in Rands and tends to do okay at everything else. This is Rand, so RSB should take this, right? Although Saba, don't count Saba out, because he can still pull off some pretty good upsets. He has done in the past, and we'll probably see another one again. Camo doubles, Kepper versus Mimorik. Absolute highlight match, this one. Both players have done real well in doubles. So I'm looking forward to a great game between both players. I'm going to say Mimorik wins, although I have a slight feeling Kepper might pull off an upset. And we haven't had strangers to upsets with Kepper in the past. In this tour alone, actually. So, yeah. I'm going to go Mimorik, but Kepper might win. National deck, same 6. We got Askov versus GXC. No surprise here. I think GXC, the better player of the two. Haven't really been impressed with Askov. So this one should go to GXC. National Dex Uber's minus obtainable form. Star Master versus Skooma. This one should be also pretty one-sided, right? I don't know. Skooma has done mid so far. I think Star Master, legit one of the better Uber players in this tour. Has a respectable record to his name. So I think Star Master should win here. Monotype Cap, we got Gum versus PJ. Haven't really seen both players all that much. Although Gum did beat Tier Acid at one point during this tour. So I think I'm going to go Gum on this one. Also, just because I like Gum. Just kidding. Just kidding. Haven't actually tasted Gum before. But not in that way. Not in this context. Alright. I'm cutting. We're going to go Gum on this one. Let's just say. Hey that. Mystery OU TPP versus Reginald. Well, poor Raji hasn't had the best showing. I mean, he has 2 wins to his name, but the loss against Ewin was pretty bad. Meanwhile, TPP had a pretty strong win last week. Well, not strong, more like lucky against Lax, but he has shown in the past that he could play to his fullest potential and actually win, so I think TPP should win here. And finally, we got the Articunos versus the Bounce Suites. Now, Articunos are in a really good position right now in terms of playoff contention, but if they lose big time here and gave the Golbats the win, then that would be the biggest shame. However, I do have faith because of the teams presented here. First off, in TSAA, we got Poshik Moshik versus Mossy Sandwich. Kind of an underrated highlight match. I've seen both players do their best in previous tours before this. And this ought to be pretty fun. I think I'm going to go Mossy on this one, but only slightly. I do have that slight instance at Poshik that might lean towards Poshek, but I think Mossy has the better stride here. Stab and Mega, we got Adem versus Agrometelli. Finally, we're going to see Adem again. And although Adem hasn't had the best of showing, he has cred to his name for being a pretty good OMMs player. Although I do think Agrometelli has had the more experience here. Well, in this tour at least. I don't know if OMM's experience counts, but well, of course OMM experience counts. But for this tour, Agrometelli has had the better experience, better exposure, better player, better plays up to this point. So I think I'm going to go aggro on this one. The multi-gen Rands, we got Losco no Shoto beating Crying, unfortunately. Crying hasn't had the best momentum going into this tour, having lost twice or 3 times, I can't recall. Meanwhile, Losco's pretty decent in Rands. Well, has had a pretty decent record in Rands to his name, so we're going to go Losco on this one. Camo double, Shadow versus Ninja. This one ought to be pretty good. Both players have shown in the past how good their doubles games is. I think I'm gonna go with the tried and true doubles main. Let's go with Shadow on this one. Although Ninja can surprise. I won't be surprised if Ninja wins. Because Ninja can absolutely play like a goat. National Deck Same 6, we got Sanguini versus Siphicon. Haven't seen Sanguini all that much, but yeah. So, welcome to the tour, first week, in week 7. Although he's going up against Siphicon, who's done alright. He has some good weeks, he has some bad weeks. So I think I'm gonna go Siphicon on this one, but only slightly. Because we've yet to see Sanguini. He really show his building potential here in National Deck Same 6, which I'm pretty excited about.
When?
Don't remember.
You have the sheet pulled up, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Lero? I think it was Lero.
Let's see. Yeah, I think you're right.
Alright. So, I don't...
In my opinion, I think Sanguini will win.
Okay. Okay, yeah, provided he has great builds, I think Sanguini might win. I'm gonna go Siphicon on this one. But we'll see. We'll see about that.
Okay.
Natdex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got FC versus Loti. Yeah, I don't think Loti has a ghost of a chance here. FC's been doing real well in this tour, so this ought to be an FC win and a half.
Yeah, I agree.
Monotype cap, we got Trichotomy versus Spitfire Arcanine. This already happened. Spitfire won? Which I'll definitely have to check the replay on that one. And Mystery OU, Atrax Madara versus Rob Jr. I haven't been really too impressed with Atrax, both in BLT and here. So, Rob Jr.'s been doing quite well in this Mystery OU tour, so Rob Jr.
Rob
it is.
Jr. ended Easy's undefeated streak last week.
Yeah, so Rob Jr. it is.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that brings us to the end of week 7 predicts. Thank you all for watching. Next week we'll actually cover week 7 predicts. Oh, well, week 7 recap plus talking about more of the bottom 8, the bottom 4 teams and how and what are the factors that led them to their loss. And then finally, we'll talk about semis predicts. How exciting, TP.
Ooh, a longer video.
How exciting. Actually, no, it's not a longer video. We're
Sounds like there'll be more analysis.
But we got only 2 matchups to predict. Feel blessed, woman.
Okay. It's nearly 6 a.m. How am I awake?
How am I not asleep? That's the question in my opinion. Alright, thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you wouldn't miss out on my videos. See you next week! Semis! Woo!
Woo, we made it.
It's almost ending. The tour is about to end. This has been McCoy signing out.
We gonna win this, just saying it now.